gather around the campfire, folks, because it's time to tell some spooky stories, specifically anime horror stories. So these are really just what they sound like, anime expo or anime convention stories that we don't like to look back at, but are kind of funny looking back on them kind of now. My name's Tyler.
My name's Jess.
And I'm Chris.
So, Chris, knowing that you've been to more anime expos or conventions than either of us, you want to give us one to start off with?
Yeah. I'll start off with just a lot of people know it as the infamous Lion Con, because I believe it was in 2018 or 17, one of those years. The Lion used to, instead of having us wrap around the buildings, used to have us go all the way down Olympic, like in a straight line. And because of that, because we were out in the sun, a lot of people ended up passing out over and over and over again, where you would see about 20 ambulances every hour coming by.
Were they okay? Like, did they? Because ambulances are also expensive.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah. It's also why it's important to bring your water, guys.
Well, yeah, but I know a big problem is a lot of cosplayers who wear wigs. There's a lot of heat trapped under there. I don't know if water's going to solve it.
No, it probably won't.
Dang. And I thought we had it rough like 2 years ago. I was like, it's pretty darn hot.
Yeah, I think that was the year actually it hit like 106 or something in LA. It was that summer that was just really bad.
I'll say this last year was supposed to be a hot one, but it actually ended up being like the nicest year.
Yeah. It was so nice.
It was nice.
Yeah, like people probably could have actually gone all out for like their cosplay if they really wanted to this past year.
Mm-hmm. I'll start with my most recent one. It's not a horror story as much as it is just an uncomfortable situation. But a person that I didn't know that I thought you were friends with.
And I want to say I am not.
Yeah, randomly came up to me, and, I assumed that you guys were friends, and that's why he just so confidently was talking to us.
Well, this was, just for a little bit of background information, this was back when we were speaking to Ed, who, plays like Kel, or cosplays like Kel-inspired stuff. So, like, he did his Attack on Titan Kel. And we assumed, because he was, like, so close and came at the same exact time, that he was friends.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, well, if they're friends and, you're friends with Ed, then he's probably friends with him too, and you probably know him. And we don't want to be rude, so we're like, let's talk to him while you're catching up.
And he didn't join a conversation. He just started his own conversation with us. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to change some of the details just so we can't pinpoint who it is. But this guy pretty much, let's say he was cosplaying Hawks, right?
Yeah.
And he was like saying how, in all seriousness, like not satirical or anything, he was like, yeah, I didn't choose Hawks. Hawks chose me. And I was like, I was going to laugh because I thought he was kidding.
No.
Like, as a joke, but he was so serious. And then he started saying how, like, he can really relate to the character. And then he starts, like, tearing up. No input from me. I'm not like, oh, what made you cosplay him, right? Nothing. And then he all of a sudden starts tearing up and saying how he can really relate to the character. Because one time he was in a play where the backgrounds were very similar. And I'm like, wait, so you don't even have a hard story like Hawks. You just played a character.
You said he was an actor.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, this is a weird situation, but it's not a horror story, right? The part that made it so bad is he was probably, like, I could touch him with my elbow. He was so close.
That's too close.
Yeah, if I can touch you with my elbow, like, you're in my personal space. And I'm trying not to be rude, right? And, some people, they don't know how close they are sometimes, right? So I, like, take a step back. He takes a step forward. I take a step back. He takes a step forward. And we do this dance like so many times to the point where we started off having this conversation right next to you. You had to walk over to us because of how farther back we were than where we started. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, he gets it, right? He gets the hint.
Yeah.
Once I took my third step back, you would think he has to know.
Dog, the crazy part to me was where he was like, man, it's so hard not to say like what he was cosplaying as, because like it like makes it. But like, let's say there was different versions of Hawks, right? He's like, yeah, he's like, Hawks is my favorite character. Like, look at all my cosplays I've done of him as like different versions of like Hawks. And I swear they were literally looked exactly the same.
Yeah,
but
it was the exact same.
It looked as if he literally took a picture of himself earlier that day in front of a poster. And like that's what he was showing us. And like again, like there's I would say like it was more so one of those ones where it was just like, why are you talking to us like that?
Yeah. Like it's
like being that he wasn't your friend.
Yeah,
Like
and I don't mind conversations.
Thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't mind having conversations with strangers. Like, you know, obviously we have common interests, right? The thing that really made it weird was that he wasn't letting us speak. We were not having a conversation. He was just not even trauma, like just dumping his life story on us out of nowhere.
Oh, that's so sad.
That's what really confused me.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
It was definitely an awkward one. Yeah, I don't even know what happened. I remember just leaving that like.
Well, he asked for my Instagram, and I was like, there's no way this person's going to get any information on me because, you know, we mentioned that we have a podcast, and he was like, I would love to be on your podcast. And I was like, oh, yeah, Chris can give you our business Instagram. And I was like, I have to, like, default because I cannot handle this.
That's, like, my least favorite thing, by the way, that people, like, constantly say to us. It will be people that don't, like, haven't put any effort into, like, their content or, like, even showing us a way that they could provide like, you know, some sort of value to our podcast. They're not like, oh, I'm very knowledgeable in this or that and I'd like to talk about it. They'll just like be people that I tell like I have a podcast to, and they'll be like, oh, like, yeah, I can come on to, like, I would love to come on to the, and it's not even like they're friends with me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I would like to go on the podcast. And I'm like, dude, like, one, like, you don't.
It's the cool thing now. That's why.
Well, yeah, but like, you're not, you don't try to do anything content character related. You haven't told me you're a specialist in like any specific field. Like, what do you think? Also, I just like come on here, talk with absolutely zero thing of what I'm going to like talk about? And
most of the times, the people that say that is always the people that are like, oh, I've actually only seen this anime.
Oh yeah,
like they're like not anime fans. Like they just saw one anime, and then they're like, I'll go on your podcast, and I'm like, thank you for your offer.
And
I
it's
really
like,
appreciate
like,
that.
dude, I get like some of these people are like simps, but like, what would make you think I'd want you to be on a pod? Or like, what makes people think I just have like the right to just invite anyone onto a podcast without like talking to you guys?
Yeah.
You know
but
what I
also,
mean?
This is a safe space. You know, like this is a set, right? There's personal information, right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to willy-nilly give out my address.
Especially if this is like, I've only met them for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Another really bad thing is, do you guys remember, I forget if it was Fanfusion or WonderCon, but remember when someone like shit their pants?
Oh, that was Fanfusion. Yeah,
that was Fanfusion. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was nuts.
Like we were like in the exhibitor hall, right? It's like cramped.
Yeah.
So busy. And we just smell like literal shit. Like not a fart.
Out of nowhere.
Like real poo.
I literally was afraid that I was gonna get pink eye.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's how bad it was.
It was not BO. I just want to be clear. Like I know, like it's hot. A lot of people have BO, but it was not BO.
Yeah.
Like yes, there was BO, but that was clearly.
No, someone defecated for sure.
And we were like, it was so much.
Yeah, I know, and I didn't even know where it was coming from because I feel like every direction we went, it followed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to so we were like going down one way, and then we had to like cut, and then we had to go all the way down to escape it. And we were like, the fact that it was so strong, kind of implied like they're just like walking through with defecation in their pants. Like they're not going to the bathroom.
Yeah, and the thing is like I get it. Some people have like, you know, incontinence issues and stuff like that, which is fine. But if you shit your pants, you should go get that taken care of. That's like actually like a very unsafe thing. And that's
that could lead to a lot of unhygienic. Well,
you could get like
diseases.
Yeah, you could definitely get
infection.
Something.
It was so gross.
I almost got an infection.
I almost threw up on the person in front of me because it just was shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
It was bad, dog. Like, I could smell what they ate. You know what I mean? Like, that was rank.
Like 3 meals ago.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Oh, my God.
No, but, you know, I will say probably one of the worst things I ever seen at an expo was, I think it was like my second anime expo. And I had I had just met up with my friend Sydney because it was her birthday. So I brought her a present, and then her handler came to like take care of her. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go back to like just shopping. I get a text saying she needs help. I run back out, and she's naked because she was wearing like Sexy Jutsu Naruto with the clouds.
Yeah.
A fan
just like ran and stole it from her.
Called her a slur. I'm not gonna repeat, but a slur.
Yeah.
Ripped it off of her and ran away because her handler just like had left to get her with like some water.
Oh my gosh.
So she was alone, and like luckily I had a jacket, so I covered her, and like she's small, so I just took her, and I took her back to her hotel room. Yeah, that's probably like the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh! Did they ever catch him?
No.
Wow, that's like assault. That's assault.
That is, yeah, that's like just straight up assault.
Wow.
Honestly, like some people just need to get like knocked out.
Oh.
Yeah, honestly.
Like I'm a full believer in that.
Oh yeah, dude. I am kind of thankful I wasn't there because I probably would, because like in that case, like unfortunately security doesn't like care whether or not like you're at fault if you get in an altercation.
Yeah.
Just kick you out. Yeah.
But like it just said that she was left alone for like maybe 2 minutes, and then something like that happens. Yeah, by a so-called fan.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. And that's like the hard part about these cons is like people want to go and they want to do things that are fun and like, or even just like things that they've always wanted to do, right? Like cosplay as. And you have these like incels that think that like they have the right to do anything because if they dress like that, they should be expecting everything. And that's like such a stupid stance.
And it's really frustrating because there's a lot of members of the anime community that are not incels, that are actually just...
I would say majority aren't.
Exactly.
Like majority are just regular people.
They just love anime.
Stand out.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they kind of ruin it because now like people are like, oh, I heard this happened at anime expos or, you know, cons. And it's like, it's such a small percentage, but at the same time, there's like 200,000 people there, so of course something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like you two got to meet Alicia. At
yeah, she's so cool.
Really, really sweet, right?
Yeah.
So I Comic-Con 3 years ago, so that'd be 4 years ago. It'd be 2019.
Okay.
So Comic-Con 2019, she was doing the female version of Predator, right? Like fully decked out, and since she works with like movie style, like movie equivalent, like body armor, that's what she was wearing.
Yeah.
Because she can't see in her mask too well, and because she obviously can't hear.
Yeah.
Someone took the opportunity to grope her, and it was just disgusting.
Yeah.
Did they get caught?
They did because her handler team was there.
Okay, good.
Thank God.
Oh, I feel so bad for her.
Yeah, because Alicia is really, really sweet.
Yeah.
She's a very nice person, yeah.
And there's nothing in this world, like even if you like brace yourself and you're like, this could happen, this will happen. There's nothing in this world that can prepare you for an assault. Like
just
especially
an invasion
not
of
like
privacy.
Like
well, because I feel like people see their favorite Instagrammer or whatever model in person cosplaying whatever fantasy that they think, and like there's like that wall that goes up, like, well, it's not real, it's whatever, like in their head, and they take the opportunity to go out and like grab it, you know, and I'm like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
So one big thing that I've been seeing go around on like TikTok and stuff was just the emergence of cosplay photographers that are actually just predators. I know there's the big one, but I've also heard that a lot of cosplay photographers, not as deplorable as the stuff that, you know, he did. I don't know if we can mention names or if we have to throw it allegedly or whatever.
Probably
but
not yet. Yeah.
But a lot of people have been posting on TikTok about him. But, you know, just a lot of people just like take the opportunity of having a camera to take pictures that were not asked for.
Yeah.
Or you get certain photographers that will use like you know, at the back of the LA Convention Center, there's that horseshoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of them will take the opportunity to like try to groom the younger cosplayers to like get comfortable and like to start going into like this like the studios. Like, you know, if you want professional shots in the studio, I can help you out. Do this and do that, and then that's where like the slow groom happens, and it's really sad. Which is why like they have a list of names not to like work with.
Interesting.
Oh, that's good that that list exists. It
Yeah.
should be more public. Just forget working with them. Just like don't talk to them. Like
Yeah. So essentially, what happens is that if you are a cosplayer that's starting to like become up and coming, you get like a older sister type of deal she'll send you all the stuff of people to kind of stay away from.
Interesting.
But obviously, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
Especially for people that like it's their first time ever cosplaying in an anime expo. Like,
They're not gonna know.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're not gonna know. An anime expo is not gonna give security to like do anything about it.
They'll get plenty on the inside for no apparent reason.
Yeah, there's like one at every corner. None of them even know the layout of the place.
For real.
Yes.
That's my anime expo horror story. Going and asking like 50 different like security guards, hey, where is 301 AB? Oh, well, I think it's right over there. Only to find out it was on the complete opposite side of like the building. Like it's absolutely insane. And like, I don't know. I've always been outspoken about how much I don't like the workers at Anime Expo. Like some of them are good, you know. Some of them are actually like some of them actually care, but like so many like just treat it so weird.
Yeah, what's up with remember how they stopped doors? Like they
They
closed
closed
off?
the doors.
It's something to do with the fire marshals telling them
But
that
it's
it's
like-
safety hazard. I'm like, isn't it more of a safety hazard
Yes,
to have
because
all
now
these
you can
doors
only
shut?
have
Yeah.
like one exit. Yeah.
But also, like, is that gonna be a continual problem? Like this coming up Anime Expo?
So I will tell you, every Anime Expo, fire marshals are the worst thing because they'll change, like, so you know how now we have that, the fence on the outside of the expo
Yeah.
to like block everything from coming like in and out
Yeah.
until you're actually there. So that wasn't always there. It used to just be fully open.
Oh.
And you're able to freely go in and out and not have to like siphon yourself all the
Yeah.
way in and out. But the fire marshals came and said like, that's a hazard, you can't do that. So now you have to have this gate, which is annoying because like, what if I just wanted to get out for some air, like towards the horseshoe? Now I have to go all the way back around,
Yeah.
come back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried one of the hot dogs?
Shamefully, yeah.
Were they good? They
They're good.
smell good.
The thing is, they're good hot dogs, but you're gonna be on the toilet.
Yeah, for like at least an hour.
Yeah.
But like you guys have weak digestive systems.
Hey, I like to think I have a pretty strong digestive system as long as it doesn't include dairy.
Okay, already you're out. You're out.
I'm solid. As long as it's not dairy, I'm good.
Are you sure? How's Taco Bell for you?
I mean, Taco Bell doesn't count as food.
But how do you feel after?
I get some churro after. It's okay.
Huh?
He gets churros after.
I get the poop. The poops.
Oh yeah. See, you have a weak digestive system. I eat Taco Bell, I'm fine. The only thing that'll actually mess me up is like if it's actually gone like beyond bad. Like if it's slightly bad, I'm still fine.
But like, is that a digestive system issue on our part, or is that just because you don't poop?
That's not true. I go once a day now.
It's still not that good.
Listen, it's a lot better than how I live my whole life, which is once a week, which fun fact, girlies, if you're a once a week pooper, it's not normal. I learned
it's
that.
not even, that's
Listen,
a common
we
fact.
lived our whole life like this, and no one like went out of our way to tell us that's not normal. And it's not like we're telling everybody about our
But you
poos,
never
you know?
learned that in biology?
No, they were never like, you should go once a day, minimum. No. They said the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Listen, I know that fact very well.
I don't know if this is a con horror story, but it's on the way to a con, so it might as well be a horror story.
Oh no!
It was this past anime expo, and I ordered us like an Uber from like the house like we were staying at, and I was like expecting like everything to be the same as usual, which by the way, we never got a single good Uber. Like every single one of them either talked to us or made us fear for our life, usually like a mixture of both.
Yep.
And because, normally I would just be in the front seat because I was ordering the Uber and, there's 4 of us. So 3 people in the back and I would just take the front seat. I didn't expect anything different of it, but I got into this like woman's car and like at my feet, like was a phallic object, like just right there,
Huge.
It was huge. It was like, I don't know. It had to have been like that thick, like that long. And it was like pink.
Didn't you say
and
it had like veins?
Yeah, it had veins and also had like like the gonads. Yeah. And like, dog, it was so crazy because like everyone in the back was just talking to her and she was answering normally. But I'm like, how are you not looking at me when like this thing is like when she would make a turn, like I would see it like move a little and I'd like move my legs. Like it was just absolutely terrifying. I don't know.
You told us that as soon as we got out of the Uber because we didn't notice. And it was, because Leanne saw it. She did notice.
It was massive. And I was like, why do you just have that in your passenger seat?
Yeah.
Like just at least have the like decency to throw it in the like glove compartment. You know what I mean?
Because especially if you're an Uber driver.
Yeah.
What did she think was going to happen? Like she was going to get like
Dog,
a stud one day that's going to be
figured like if she doesn't say anything and like that I won't notice.
But it's like, how could you not notice something that veiny?
Yeah.
Honestly, it was nuts.
That's so funny.
Like, I don't know. I'm all for people living their life, but like not at my expense.
Yeah, well, dude, especially if we're gonna talk about bad Uber drivers, was it Fan? No, it wasn't Fan Fusion. Maybe it was Anime Expo.
It was probably the one where like we almost died.
Yeah, where we started moving immediately as soon as we got into the van.
And like we had to like all hold on to something for dear life because our whole bodies were being jerked around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that made me nauseous.
Yeah, I wanted to die.
He was like Tokyo Drift. Who's the white guy? The main guy?
Oh,
the wannabe Paul Walker?
Yeah, he was like him, but before he learned how to drift, but still driving all crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was just like, sure.
But man, I was almost a victim. Like if she stopped hard enough, like I would have been a victim for sure. Like that's the part that like gets me.
It's okay. We'll still love you the same, Tyler. It's fine.
I don't know.
I don't know if he could love himself the same.
Yeah, that was rough. Like I had to put that thing on my daddy's list.
Oh my gosh.
But no, that was definitely a horror story of mine. Or do you guys remember when we went to, this might have also been AX. I just wanted to buy a Bochi Rock shirt.
Oh yeah.
That was.
Yeah, that was AX, I think.
Yeah, that was AX.
Yeah. I wanted to buy a Bochi Rock shirt, and the first of all, like the studio that made Bochi Rock was there, and they were selling apparel, but they sold out literally the first day of the con. But yeah, whatever. So we went to Artist Alley, and there was a Bochi Rock like Kosoku band shirt, right? And I was like, okay, like it just says Kosoku band, like cool. Like I really like the show. Like I'll get it. I say like, hey, like, do you guys have the Kasoku Band shirt in like a large? And they looked at me first of all, like, what is he saying? And I'm like, it's literally at your booth. And then I was like, the Kasoku Band shirt, and they're like, and I'm like, in a large. And they're like, oh, that's this person. They're going to be back in 20 minutes, and they're like, oh, I'm like, okay, sure. And like, they put up a sign like right after I left that said like, this person's not here. They'll be back in 20 minutes. I come back like 40 minutes later, something like that. And I'm like, okay, hey, I'm here. Like, is this person back? Because they gave me like a name. And they're like, what? And I'm like, what do you mean, what? Like, do you guys not remember the name you guys told me? Does this person not really exist? And I was like, oh, I came earlier for the Kasoku Band shirt. You said this person was in charge of it and they're not here, but they'll be back in like 20 minutes and it's been 40. And they're like, oh no, they're out right now eating their lunch. But if you're back in 20 minutes, and I'm like, what do you mean?
Like, it's been 40.
Yeah. And like, I was like, I had cash and they were like, no, but if you come back in 20, I just didn't come back.
Yeah.
The rest of the con. It was the most frustrating experience I ever had. Like, just such incompetent people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just like you tried buying a shirt too, right? It was that same weekend, but they sold out of your size.
Oh, yeah.
Day one.
Yeah.
I waited in the line for so long. It was such a long line. I finally, and mind you, before I started getting in that line, I didn't realize that I actually, there was a line. And so I was looking at it and they were like, oh, there's actually a line. Because when I asked for it in like a small, right? And I was like, oh, okay, my bad. And I went back in line and I got there and they're like, oh, yeah, we sold out earlier today. And I'm like, wait. I was mistakenly here earlier, like 20 minutes ago, right, in this line. And I said, can I get this in a small? And you said there's a line. And so I went in line.
Yeah.
And you're telling me earlier that day you ran out of smalls, but not just smalls, but every size?
Everything except double XL.
And I'm just standing there like,
and
you're playing with me right now.
The thing that's like nuts is like, I wouldn't necessarily call it like a very like neutral shop. Like, it was really geared towards like I would say like anime, like girls that like animes, because, and the only reason I say that is all of their model, like mannequins were like female mannequins. They had like cardboard cutouts and like all of it was like pictures of girls and stuff like that. So it was very clear that they had a specific audience, especially with the color schemes and everything. Yeah. And everyone that was like, that went to the booth obviously had the same concept. And yet the ones that they sold out of were sizes like extra small through medium. And then like eventually they also like sold out of like the larges and stuff and only had extra large.
But that's
and I'm
not
like,
even the problem. The problem is that I originally mistakenly cut the line and they told me get in line, but I told them the size I wanted it in. And so I waited in this line for nothing.
Well, it is partially the problem. The reason I say that partially the problem is that was day one.
Yeah.
We asked if they would have more later in the con, like maybe another day, and they said no. And I'm like, you guys understand, what are you going to do for the rest of the con?
I mean, good for them that they hit their goals and like sold out
for
of
like
everything.
the 10 that they brought?
But yeah, they could have done like a lot better for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just broke even?
Yeah. Well, hopefully these horror stories will have you maybe prepare better. I don't know. What could we have done better to avoid this? Nothing, right?
Call a different Uber.
Call a different
Uber.
Yeah.
If you are a cosplayer, make sure you have a handler with you at all times.
Yeah, and if you don't have a handler because you're new, just go in a group at least.
Yeah, have a good friend.
Yeah, have a good friend that you can just kind of trust.
Pink eye medication.
Yeah. Don't feel like afraid to like leave a situation. If you think that something's off.
Yeah, just walk away.
Yeah.
If you're a girl, just find another girl and be like, this person's scaring me. And like, I don't want to speak to all girls, but most girls, like, we got you, you know, like, we'll get our friends involved. Like, you're safe for the most part. And I only say that because sometimes if you're in a dangerous situation as a girl with a guy, you don't want to just go to another guy and hope for the best.
Oh, that's happened to me once.
Oh.
No, but like while I was walking by, and that's actually how I met the one who was sexy Jutsu Naruto.
Oh, really?
She was in a situation. This is both like when I first met her. I had food in my hand. Because it was WonderCon like 2015, something like that. And she sees me and goes, "Hi, babe." And I was just like, and she's like, yeah, oh, is that for me? And I looked, and I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, it's for you.
Did you give it to her?
Well, she came and like walked with me.
Oh, okay.
And then as soon as we were like out of sight, she was like, "Thank you so much." I'm like, yeah.
That's funny. You should pretend like we should do this just to get like free food. Like I just like pretend that I'm like in danger, and I'll be like, "Hey, babe, is that for me?" And I just take it.
Oh, that is so.
Yeah. You're gonna be someone's horror story.
Yeah.
This one girl is just psychopath. Just took my food after she called me babe and then ran.
But you know, sometimes at AX, that'd be worth it with those lines.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those lines are no bueno.
With no shade.
All right, we'll see you next time.